Hello viewers, today I want to discuss about the BMW Burble tune, what it is and if it's any good for your vehicle. We'll discuss about it after this. Welcome back to the Moose Mobile Auto Repair channel. And so today I just wanted to discuss about the BMW Burble tune. I have come about this topic because a few months ago or so, last year in 2023, at the time I was living remotely from the house, and so I was not there at the time. Now, my young brother notified me that he was hearing some gunshot sounds outside the house at about 12:20 in the morning. So I told him most likely it wasn't gunshot sounds. It was probably coming from a car of some sort. And so he was telling me to review the security camera footage and to see on what it was. And I'm going to be showing the footage in just a minute. I told him that most likely it was coming from a car. Probably the vehicle had like engine problems, such as like a misfire or something. And I also told him that the engine's timing could be off, and that's probably why it's the vehicle was having a really severe backfire. I came to the conclusion after I reviewed the video. I could see that it looked like it was a BMW. I'm pretty certain it was a BMW, although it could be very difficult to tell in the security footage, especially at nighttime with the night vision on. And so indeed it turned out to be that the vehicle was backfiring of some sort. So this type of backfiring, basically there's pretty much raw unburnt fuel that was still left over in the exhaust pipes, and the exhaust is very hot, and so instead of the combustion happening inside the combustion chamber, it's going to happen outside the exhaust valve. So when the exhaust valves closes, there's still some leftover fuel in the exhaust, and so the heat from the exhaust explodes the leftover fuel or gasoline, and then it'll cause like a pop or a crackling noise, and in worst case a gunshot like uh, noise or sound. And so I was just explaining to him, my young brother, explaining to him as to why it's happening, and I told him that most likely that vehicle has been modified to to make those noises. And so I just told him that car is not going to be on the road for that much longer if they don't fix that problem. So he started laughing and whatever. We're just joking around, and we started to refer back to this old movie. I don't know if you guys know about it. It's called Uncle Buck. It's a John Candy film or movie. I believe it's from 1987, where he shuts the car off, and there is something called an afterfire. You have a backfire and afterfire. I believe his car was having like an afterfire after he shuts the vehicle off. There's a little bit of fuel that is left over in the exhaust, and then the you see and you hear the explosion coming out of the tailpipe. And so it's kind of funny. So we were discussing about that, and so we're just laughing about it and whatever. So I don't know specifically about the Burble tune, but I can just give you a brief explanation as to what it is and what it does. So the Burble tune is just these car enthusiasts. They go to a shop who are able to program and modify the vehicle's engine computer. And so they have something called like fuel maps or something to modify the engine's timing in such a way so that when the exhaust valve is just about to close, raw fuel will get past the exhaust valve. And so when the exhaust is hot, it will cause an explosion in the exhaust instead of happening inside the combustion chamber. So you have, let's say that this is the engine. This is a single cylinder. Here's the piston, and then the air and the fuel is in here inside the combustion chamber. So I think right now it's just past the intake stroke, and when it gets to the exhaust stroke, basically the green is the exhaust stroke. So when it gets to the exhaust stroke, after the exhaust gases are gone, the piston is all the way at the top, at the top dead center, and so everything here all of the exhaust gases should have been past the valve over here. So all of the exhaust gases will go out of the tailpipe. So what's happening is, if I go back for a minute, what's happening is that if you review the footage closely on deceleration, when the car slows down, it starts to make a popping noise or a gunshot, crackling gunshot noise, because now the vehicle is not accelerating, is not using as much fuel as when you're accelerating. And so on deceleration, there's a little bit of raw fuel that gets in here and gets thrown outside the exhaust valve and explodes after it passes the exhaust valve. And so the hot exhaust blows up the fuel. And so the issue is when the vehicle is decelerating, it's not using as much fuel, and so some of that fuel is going to sit inside the combustion chamber and get past the exhaust valve, and so that's what's going to cause the explosion. And as soon as the vehicle starts to accelerate, the noise stops. The vehicle drives okay for the most part. And so when the car slows down again, it's just gonna repeat the cycle over and over again. This Burble tune specifically is for the BMWs, although that it's not limited to BMW vehicles, but I think it will be called something else, or just like they modify the performance shops, they will modify the engine's computer to have either to advance or retard the ignition timing, depending on what the customer wants. So again, when you review the footage, When the vehicle slows down, the gunshot sounds are more apparent. When the vehicle accelerates, the sound goes away. So this Burble tune stuff has no benefit at all. There's no power gain or any increase or decrease in fuel mileage. It's just, well, it might decrease the fuel mileage because the ignition timing is, sorry, the engine timing is off. The engine timing, and so the issue is that this is just strictly for show. This has nothing to do with any power gain or any help with the fuel mileage. Now, this modification, I'm very certain that it's illegal. You will get pulled over by a police officer if you get caught. So you have to be careful if you decide to even do this on your vehicle. I don't have first-hand experience with this, but I do know about it. I've seen it in the past before, but I don't know the specifics about the specific tune. But there's a lot of cons in this than pros. So my advice is just to stay far away from it unless you want a damaged engine. So this tune causes detonation, so it's going to damage the engine over time, and it's possible to put holes in the pistons. And so it's also hard on the exhaust manifold and the components, and also on the catalytic converter if it has a catalytic converter. So all of this is very damaging. Now, I don't know if these vehicles have had the catalytic converters removed in order to have this tune to work for them. And so issue is it will get you into nothing but legal trouble. So it's loud and obnoxious. It'll get you pulled over by the police, and it's gonna damage your engine sooner or later. So I don't advise you to play around with this. Now, on today's modern day vehicles, the backfiring and after firing is very rare. It seldomly ever happens today. Now, you might see that on high performance vehicles and turbocharged vehicles, they've been severely modified, and so you might see some backfiring and after firing from time to time because the timing will be a little bit off, and so that can cause a lot of problems, and it's not good. It's not good for the engine. Now, like I said before, backfiring and after firing is not good. It's going to cause engine damage, power loss, and decreased fuel efficiency. So it's not good for your engine. So either do not do it at all or get it fixed, because I don't advise you having this tune. Although some guys, they like it and they think it's cool, but sooner or later they'll get pulled over by the police and they'll get a large fine. So you have to be careful if you decide to do this on your vehicle. If you want my opinion about this is just sheer stupidity. That's it. It's just my opinion. So, and just think it's just an absolute nonsense and stupidity to even do this on your vehicle. There's no benefits. If people just want to see flames and snap, crackle, pop out of the muffler of their cars, there's no point. You want to see that? Just go and make yourself a barbecue, and then just do that instead. Now, if you do some research on the internet, you will be able to see on on what all of this is about. I've read here a backfire or afterburn is combustion or an explosion produced by a running internal combustion engine that occurs in the exhaust system rather than inside the combustion chamber. It is also sometimes referred to as an afterfire, especially in cases where the word backfire is used to mean a fuel burn that occurs when an intake valve is open, causing the fire to move backward through the system and out through the intake instead of the exhaust. When the flame moves backward, it may also be called a pop back. A backfire can be caused either by ignition that happens with an exhaust valve open or unburnt fuel making its way into the hot exhaust system. A visible flame may momentarily shoot out of the exhaust pipe. A backfire is often a sign that the engine is improperly tuned. So sometimes it can be a mixture of a variety of things, unless there's an engine running problem, like something to do with a bad ignition system or fuel system that's causing the issue, like a low fuel pressure or something like that. It can cause the same symptoms, but more likely than not, it's most likely from the Burble tune, especially on BMWs. And so many things can cause backfiring and afterfiring, but I'm not going to be talking about all of that. And so I just wanted to conclude this video. I'm hoping that I didn't miss anything for this topic, and so I just wanted to end it there. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please don't forget to give it a like, and please consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already a subscriber, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day and take care.